Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hey, That's Easy, spotlighting people that know things. I'm your host, Lawton Luntz. We have another great show ahead with a diverse group of individuals focusing on Valentine's Day. If this is your first time watching our show, it aims to highlight artists, entrepreneurs, athletes, local heroes, motivational speakers, and even career coaches. Joining me is my co-host and part-time career coach, Ava. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. Happy early Valentine's Day.
Yes.
This is going to be an exciting show. I know it's a rough time of year for everyone. Of course, we're dealing with that pandemic, that pesky pandemic still, but love is in the air. Usually Valentine's, you can dread that when you're single, kind of going through it. But this year I have some reasons to celebrate with someone else. So that's fantastic. But I'm just really excited to hear the perspectives from all of our great guests tonight. So looking forward to it. Thanks, Lawton.
Likewise, I echo that sentiment. I was going to ask you what your plan was. I felt like this was a Valentine's Day. It was going to be a little different than in years past, somewhat special for you.
Yes. Plans? Well, I guess we're going to a nice restaurant, doing up the whole Valentine's the right way. Definitely nice to celebrate with somebody else and have that special someone in my life right now. And I know for you, it's not your first Valentine's run. You have a longtime wife and partner. So what do you like to do for Valentine's Day, Lon?
Well, in the past, we've done a lot of the big gifts and big celebrations, but over the past few years, we just do dinner at home. We cook, and my wife gets to pick whatever she wants. So I'll cook it up for the family, and we just enjoy. We go all out, whatever we want, So we try to have just a nice dinner at home, enjoy each other's company and whatnot. We buy some small gifts for the kids, and usually a fun holiday. Her birthday is a week later, so this is a very expensive time of year traditionally for me. So we do it up for the birthday as well. So we try to keep that in fine balance. I would liken it to anyone that's born around the holidays, like around Christmas time. If they're born close to that or after that, there's a lot going on. So, but we always have a good time with it.
That's awesome. Yeah. So definitely, being home a lot more this year, not only because it's winter, you watch a lot of movies, cook a lot of dinners at home. So trying to make it special. As you can see, I decorated as always.
I cannot compete with your backgrounds. You always outdo me. It's great, but I always give it my best effort. You always you definitely one up me in that department.
I enjoy it. It's fun. The creative outlet comes out.
Yes. Well, like you said, we have a great show coming up later. We have Geralyn St Joseph. She's a longtime guest of ours. She's going to be on to talk about some relationship advice, of course. But up first, I'm really excited about this next guest. Valentine's Day in many areas around the world celebrates love and romance. But for some, this time of year may not be all flowers, cards, and candy. Our next guest has a passion to help men and women navigate the challenges of relationships, breakups, and divorce. Please welcome Karen McMahon to the show.
Hi.
Hey, Karen. Hello.
So nice to be here. How are you doing?
We're doing great. Yes. How are you doing, Ava? You're good. You're still good, right?
I'm still great. And Karen, thank you so much for joining us. What you do is so special. You help thousands of people across the country get through one of probably the toughest times of their life, right? Unfortunately, that statistic is probably going to remain the same even as we go through this pandemic. But what inspired you to start Journey by Divorce? Tell us a little bit about that journey.
Yeah, thanks so much. I went through a divorce, and it was really, really hard. And back then, there were not divorce coaches, or I certainly didn't know about them. And so when I emerged a better version of myself because I had a good therapist. I was in a 12-step program. The goal was to keep the focus on myself. And I wanted to kind of pay that forward. And it's really become my passion to work with men and women who, when you enter divorce, you're in a dark tunnel, you're pretty devastated. You usually can't see the light at the other side. And so there's a real sense of feeling hopeless and helpless. And we like to come alongside and say, well, we can take all of that pain and fuel a personal transformation as you go through it, so that so that you're using the pain. The pain is actually helping you reinvent yourself and become a better version of yourself.
Awesome. I know you have really amazing podcasts with thousands of followers. What are some of the topics that are popular?
Yeah, I tend to work in series. It's the way my brain works. And so we have an entire series on the emotional journey and healing. We have a series on the practical journey. So what kind of an legal approach you want to take, how to hire the right attorney, what to know about your finances, how to negotiate custody. So we have the whole practical end. And then we did a series on high conflict divorce, which unfortunately there's a lot of. So if you're divorcing a high conflict personality, all of the professionals that might be available, that you might need, that are available to support you through that. We did one on high net worth divorce. So virtually, and I just keep there's just so many things to talk about: special needs children, military divorces. So we just keep adding to that resource so that no matter what you're going through, you'll find some support on our podcast.
Karen, Valentine's Day is one of those days, obviously, that celebrates love and whatnot. And you're dealing with folks that are going through a different type of journey.
Yeah.
But they can use this date as kind of a restart to kind of promote their own self-love, correct?
There's a lot of things that you can do. So much of what we talk to our clients about is perspective. And so it's very easy to see the approaching Valentine's Day as salt in the wound, because I feel isolated, I'm heartbroken, I'm devastated. I don't have him, I don't have her, there's nobody there. And so the way that you can turn that around, depending on the phase of divorce you're in, is one is to honor yourself. It's like, okay, so if Valentine's Day is about love, one of the biggest things we need to learn is to how to love ourselves as opposed to needing somebody else to fill us. And so if you're alone, you may want to do some special things, and any triggering date requires a little bit of planning. So you might want to schedule to get your nails done, do a massage, pick up your favorite cocktail to have, pick out a movie that's going to make you laugh, not cry. A love story might not be the best one if you're alone on Valentine's Day, but you can create almost like a date. I mean, I love baths. You could do a bubble bath, you could have candles, and it's all about, how can I honor myself on this day that this year, this particular time, is going to be me by myself? And what I'll say is a lot of my clients have had many Valentine's Days that felt pretty lonely with a partner, and that's why they are where they are.
I love it. I'm sure you have many testimonials, stories of success. Is there any one that you wouldn't mind sharing or comes to mind where you knew maybe that was the time you knew you were making a difference?
Yeah, actually, there's a fella that I've worked with who is six months to a year post-divorce, and found out his wife was cheating, and has 4 young children, and was so incredibly devastated. And because he was willing to kind of roll up his sleeves, look at his part, understand things, what for the first 6 months was, this is the worst time of my life, the most devastating thing. He actually, a couple of months ago, he said, I cannot believe that this is coming out of my mouth, but this has been the best thing that's ever happened to me. I feel more authentic, more myself than I ever have. I'm standing in who I am. I'm loving who I am. It's a game changer, and we get that a lot. And to me, it's like it's worth its weight in gold to come alongside people and help them see that what is incredibly painful and devastating can also be that catalyst that catapults you into the best next chapter of your life.
I love it. So you're making a lemonade out of lemons, right? You're taking that most miserable sad time of your life and turning it around and becoming a better person.
Exactly.
There's so many reasons people get divorced. I'm sure you hear them all, right?
And a big part, you know, for all of you out there who are like getting excited about Valentine's Day, it's like the biggest thing is keep the focus on you. If you're having a fight, if you're having an argument, if there's a rub with your partner, new, long-term, whatever, it's so easy to like point and blame. But when you go, well, what's the baggage I brought to the table? What's my communication method? What are the triggers that like get me reactive? And when we can work on that, what seems like a bad relationship can just be a bump in the road. You work on you, and all of a sudden the ripple effect is like hugely powerful. And when we do work with people on mending, it's one of the most rewarding things to see people who thought, yeah, this is over, find out, wow, we love each other, and we needed some skills, we needed some strategies, and here we are.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure we're going to all want to follow you and learn all these wonderful tips and advice to have a long, fulfilling, happy divorce or marriage, right? Moving on from that, where can our guests follow you, Karen, and where can they learn more about what you have to offer?
Yeah, thanks so much for asking. So Journey Beyond Divorce is the name of the company. That's our website, that's our podcast, and all of our social media, Journey Beyond Divorce. We have a free survival kit. We have a free coaching call for anybody who wants it. So you can find us there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Karen, for joining us. We'll be following you for sure. Thank you so much for giving that advice to our audience tonight.
Thanks for inviting me, and happy Valentine's Day to everybody.
Valentine's.
Yeah, to you. Yeah, check Karen out. She's on Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, JourneyBeyondDivorce.com. It was a pleasure talking with her a few weeks ago before she agreed to be on the show. Just she's made some incredible strides with her, not only her podcast, but you know, she's really out there making a difference. It's pretty amazing.
I'm pretty impressed.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, our next guest, selfishly, I should full disclosure, right? When I think of Valentine's, you know, you asked me earlier what we do. We eat. You know, I think of food, chocolates, etc. Our next guest knows his way around the kitchen. He's helped many bars and restaurants revamp their menus throughout the U.S., most importantly, making them profitable. He now operates the Duffified Restaurant Group, and you may remember him from the show Bar Rescue. Please welcome at this time Chef Brian Duffy to the show.
Brian,
what's up?
You made
what's up,
it.
Everybody? Where are you
World
guys?
traveler.
Well, and I'm in LA right now, so I kept looking at my calendar trying to figure out what was going on and what time I was calling and all that good stuff. So there we go. I got to get some light on me. There we go.
You're jet lagged, but you're from Philadelphia, right? That's where I am, in Philly, city of brotherly love.
Very nice.
Right?
Where do you live?
I'm in Philadelphia. You're from Philadelphia.
Where do you live?
Correct? I actually live right outside Philly in Belmar.
I know, but where in Philadelphia do you live?
Well, I go into Philadelphia every day for work. Yeah. So what do you mean? Like what part am I familiar with in Philadelphia?
That's it right there.
I love Fishtown. I love Center City.
Very good. No. Nope.
I think
where do you live? That's the question.
I go into, well, I actually live right on the border, right outside in South Jersey, but I'm in the greater Philadelphia area. So I do go there quite a lot. And I've loved to look up some of the things that you've done in Philadelphia, like your restaurant that you've invested in. And it's just so nice to have someone from Philadelphia thriving and making it out there, being such a great success. So thank you so much for joining us tonight, Brian. A little staticky there, huh?
Yeah, I know he mentioned his Wi-Fi wasn't the greatest, but yeah, I know he's got a very successful restaurant there in Philadelphia. If you remember him from the show Bar Rescue, I mean, he's been on so many journeys with so many different businesses and had really successful outcomes.
Yes, you can't pick just one thing that he's been working on. I'm like so amazed. Hi, Brian. I see you're back. He's back. I actually wanted to ask you, Brian, what inspired you to be a chef? I mean, you have such an amazing career, but what kind of got you interested in being a chef to begin with? Everyone kind of follows a path one way or another. What was yours? How did you get into becoming such a great chef. Maybe you can chat it.
Great food items that we're seeing there. I know he's known for barbecue.
Mine was instant gratification.
Ah,
there we
It
go.
was one of those things where people wanted to know.
Instant gratification.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
I think it's so awesome he's in California right now. It must be so nice and warm. At least
I don't know if you guys can.
We can
hear you.
Delay is, but
it's a little choppy. Well, what we can do is we could try to come back.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. All right, he's back. All right.
You got to find the spot in the house, Brian.
Yeah, I have no Wi-Fi.
That works. Turn off all devices and find a hotspot. No, please take a moment if you need it. We're here. Oh my goodness. So
what we could do is come back to Brian. I mean, we definitely want to highlight his website, chefbrianduffy.com. For those that are interested, you can click on that whenever you feel you want to check out some of his what he's doing these days, his restaurant. He also has a website, myworldchef.com.
I saw that.
That's where you can sign up and be like a part. You can sign up for email updates and whatnot. So if we get him on better Wi-Fi, we'll definitely head back and definitely have a conversation with Brian.
I definitely want to hear what he has to say.
I want to hear the secrets if he'll give it to us about barbecue. We'll move on to our next guest. She is a relationship expert and, of course, no stranger to our show. She is a psychic, an author. She's written 3 books, one called Psychic Self-Defense for Everyone, another called Paranormal Activity, and The 5 L's of Parenting. We're going to welcome back Geralyn St Joseph at this time to the show, providing some relationship empowerment stuff. How are you doing, Geralyn?
I have Wi-Fi.
Yes, this is good.
Geralyn, you are a champ. I've seen you on the show. What has it been? This is your 3rd time on the show. Thank you so much. And you're so diverse with your books, different topics, but relationships are definitely one of them. And I know we talked a lot about passion and that feeling at Valentine's Day for new couples. Oh, you're so in love and you have all this great passion, but is passion really that great in a relationship? What are some of the better qualities that we should look for? What are the downsides to passion, if you will?
What I look at is words are powerful, and words have meanings. They have the words that they come from and all that kind of good stuff. And if you've ever heard of like the Passion of the Christ, it gives you a hint of what passion means. So passion is derived from Latin, and it actually means suffering or having to endure something. And over the years, we have changed it, but still a big part of the meaning of passion is like being controlled. You like when you're passionate, you can't help but to do something. And it often takes a lot out of you. There's this martyr, almost victim mentality to it because you can't stop yourself and that kind of thing. Because of that, I tell my clients not to use that word, but to really think about, what do you really want in a relationship? What is it that you're really looking for? And what do you think that is, Ava?
Oh, I think for everyone, it's a little bit different. I want someone to grow old with that's going to be, just compliment me and support me and vice versa. So yeah, I'm not looking for passion necessarily. It's nice to have, right? But what are some of the things that can replace passion in a relationship, or that we should be looking for, I guess?
Well, it's just changing the words and knowing what you're really looking for. So you say different people want different things. That's really not true. We all want to be wanted. We all need to be loved. And what we're looking for is someone who wants us, desires us, and accepts us in our wholeness. It's not that easy to find because a lot of us walk into relationships with a mask on, trying to be what the other person thinks they want, instead of just being us and seeing whether or not we're compatible. So some of the things I would replace passion with are like, When you're talking about the physical, you're talking about lust. You want a lusty relationship where you really desire one another physically and you enjoy one another physically. When you're talking about, really the big one is romance. And guys, I know you guys want romance too. Not just women want romance, men want romance also. And I think that's a misnomer when we try to say that men don't want that, because that's not true. Right, Lawton?
That's right. I'm not, you see me nodding. Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Well, it looks so serious, right?
Yeah. Do we know what romance is? What is romance? Well, romance is actually building a deep emotional connection with someone you love. That's what romance is. It's not necessarily about flowers and candy, but it can be if that's the way you express yourself. And that's where you get into like the 5 love languages and things like that. For me, somebody to express their love to me, put tires on my car. My oil is changed.
Yes.
I love that. Most women would be like, oh, that's not romance. But for me, that is, because that's taking care of me. You know,
Yeah.
so you have lust, you have romance, and the last is affection. So instead of saying passion, you're affectionate, or you have affection for one another, because affection is more, it's gentle, it's more pervasive. And when you have affection for one another, then you could be physically affectionate, like holding hands and hugging. Hugging is really, really important in your relationships, all your relationships. It's important to humans. Yeah. Because when we hug, if we hold a hug for long enough, we release oxytocin, and it's a feel-good hormone. It makes us feel better. So hugging and physical touch is extremely important for humans, for people. So those would be the 3, I would say, for a really truly healthy, mature relationship. If you want something to last, you look for the romance, you look for lust, if it's going to be a romantic relationship anyway. We don't want that in our friendships or our family. And we look for affection. Those are the 3.
Such great advice. Oh, my goodness.
Thank you.
I mean, I definitely think this is a topic more people need to hear about. Like I mentioned before, COVID has had us all really tight, right? A little too close for comfort. A lot of movie nights in, a lot of Zoom webinars, right? So definitely being able to find those ways to keep the romance and passion alive, but also feel respected. So wonderful advice. And I remember you told me when someone gave you as a gift for their wedding, counseling, a relationship coach as a gift. And I thought, that's got to catch on. That should be
that's happened several times since then. And I feel like that's a really good wedding gift, is to give somebody that opportunity, so that when because the first years, I mean, it's your honeymoon phase, but it's also the hardest year, especially if you haven't lived together previously. So that helps people to grow together. And when I do weddings myself, what I do is I do almost like in Catholic, it's pre-Cana, which prepares you for the marriage. And we could talk about that some other time, but there are 5 things that I insist that they work on and talk about before they go down the aisle. Because if you don't have these 5 things, then oftentimes the marriages don't work. They're the places where there are the cracks, and so many people don't talk about it. But I'm not going to tell you what it is, because we'll do that next time.
Oh, it is. She did a tease there. I see what she did.
Everyone, should learn these skills. These are very important skills to have. I know you've written several books. You have a website. Where can we follow you, Geralyn, to learn more?
I am at Relationship Coach, GSJ, for my name, Geralyn St Joseph.com. And I also am pretty prolific on Facebook, on YouTube. I have my own YouTube channel under my name, Geralyn St Joseph. And I also do what's called Meetup. And if you're looking to meet people, like you're new to a place or whatever, I always refer my clients to meetup.com. It's not a like a hookup kind of an app or anything like that. It's been around a really long time. And you could do things from like book clubs to going to church together to hiking. We have, I have 2. I have one called Mystery, Mystics, and Metaphysics. And then I have Coffee with Conversation for Well-Being, which is more coaching. So I do 2 different meetups that I host. So you just find people in your area that you like. Mine are both on Zoom, but a lot of them are like in person, where you go to the movies together and then you go have coffee and talk about it and things like that. It's really a great way to connect.
Okay. I couldn't read that fast enough.
Yeah, I wasn't that quick. I saw
Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Good question. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm originally from Portsmouth, New Hampshire. There have been reports of ghost sightings of spinsters from the old days. Could they be possibly looking for love in the afterlife?
Oh,
well, we know
I like you bringing the stuff together there. I like it.
Yeah. Yes, they can. I actually, when I was living with my boyfriend, we had a resident female ghost who really liked him and really liked to get on my nerves, because she really liked him and didn't like that,
jealousy amongst the ghosts.
Wanted to be. So yes, that happens, because most ghosts, just like in the movie The Sixth Sense, they don't realize that they're dead, basically. Wow. So they still strive to do things like they would when they were alive. And especially if someone died from a broken heart or some kind of longing, then they definitely will be still seeking as when they're in spirit form.
That's so crazy.
I love those kind of questions.
Wealth of knowledge.
We're going to definitely have you back to talk about the 5 things. I'm guessing they're different from the 5 L's, or are they the same thing?
No, they're different than the 5 L's.
All right. Yeah, we're going to have you back on another episode, because in addition to that, my takeaway is tires as well, added to the 5 things.
Yes. And putting air in the tires. Very important to do.
Geralyn, thanks so much in the clutch for being here. We always appreciate you coming on the show.
You are welcome anytime. Thank you very much. Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you so much. I
love it. What's ironic is that I've actually done something similar, they're gotten the wife's car detailed, or new wipers, or something small like that. That I know that she'll benefit from in the long run.
We appreciate that. Really?
Yeah. So when she said that, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I've done some of those things. I think
it's tit for tat, though, right? Like, you have to do something for them too. Maybe it's bringing them a coffee, or running errands, you name it. But yeah, definitely has to be even.
Mary
Goes to
talks
my
about
office.
In her office. That's interesting. Hey, our producer says Chef is back. Let's try to bring him back.
Wow.
Chef Duffy, we'll see if his Wi-Fi is good. We'll give him a second shot here if he's back.
Never a dull moment on Hey, That's Easy, right?
Yeah, that's right. We roll with the punches here. This is how we do it.
We do. We roll with it.
I don't see him. All right, no worries.
I have so many questions.
We're gonna have to get Chef back on a different show, especially when he's got more stable internet connection, for sure. But let's move on. We have another guest that has a vision that includes a resort, love games, and a love bar that will yield true love connections. And with a restaurant background, she may be onto something for this Valentine's Day and beyond. Please welcome Kristina to the show.
Kristina! Oh my goodness.
Hey, you know what's really cool? I know where you're at, because they told me that you're at the site where this is going to go down, where this is going to be built. Is that correct?
Yes. Can you kind of see in the background?
Yeah, I sure can. It's beautiful.
You're in sunny California, just like Brian.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for coming on the show. That's so great. You have to tell us, this is such an interesting concept.
Yes. I was enthralled by her story. Kristina is passionate about love and helping people find love. And she's entrepreneurial, all the things that we love as a guest on Hey, That's Easy. But Love Bar, a concept, Love Ridge Resort, in planning, very exciting things coming up. What inspired you to create Love Bar? Tell us a little bit about your vision for it as well.
Thank you, Ava. And hello, Lawton. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
So I have to give a disclaimer and say that you are the first public forum that I'm actually sharing Love Bar with. So you really caught the cat before it got out of the bag, so to speak. I don't know, but
right.
But I'm happy. I'm excited to share Love Bar with you. because love itself inspired Love Bar. I had someone near and dear to me. I loved him so much. He told me I was an underachiever. He said, if you want to open up a restaurant and match people out of the local restaurant, you're only serving people in that one location. If you can duplicate yourself through technology, you can serve the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how Love Bar, that's how Love Games developed.
Beautiful. So Love Games is played at Love Bar, juice bar by day, champagne bar by night, I believe, and also a resort where they can learn how to make these wonderful juices and make all kinds of homemade gifts for each other. Tell us a little bit more about what would it be like, the experience of staying at Love Ridge when it's completed. What's your vision?
So you're really jumping ahead. You're really jumping ahead because it starts with, so it's all about courtship. And I love Geralyn St Joseph. I'm in love with her. So when she
she's awesome, right?
yeah, because people call me, oh my God, this lady. So yeah, passion's another story. So everything in 2022 is coming in twos. And so the idea of Love Bar itself, we'll start with that. Imagine a dating service that's inside of a restaurant at the bar that serves juice by day, champagne at night, and all the while live streaming. Oh, hello. Oh, there we go. Yeah, live stream. Okay.
Beautiful. That's
okay. So
fun.
now you have the dating service inside of the bar that's live streaming, bringing the end users, which are really people from the virtual world.
Valley at the turn of the century.
Uh-oh.
Prince told us to party like
Oh, we're actually just playing the video right now. I'm sure we can bring down the volume on that, but the video that you sent us from your YouTube page, that was the beginning of the Love Bar.
So yeah, this was Love Bar, how it started, but now we're in 2022, and
yes, I could tell this is a little older.
Yes, throwback.
Brings back memories, though, doesn't it? Those great 80s and 90s, late 2000s.
Those are the greatest days of my life.
Mine too. I think everyone has a fond memory for anything pre-pandemic. Yeah. Oh wow, is that you? Oh, look at that.
Oh, I don't want to distract, but I guess this is love goes in so many different directions. But in any case, so when people come to the Love Bar, and they're people that are into health and juicing, then the natural next step is, hey, we have a resort, and we bring people together there, and it's more of a matching weekend, so people can get to know one another. So everything comes in stages and in steps. So it's also, we have to think about business, because business and money rule our world. So this way, when people come to the Love Bar, we're also promoting our resort. So it's working hand in hand. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So relaxing. It's going to be a relaxing experience. It's going to be one where they can connect on so many different levels in the most beautiful of environments, as I see behind you. That's wonderful. What obstacles have you had to overcome to make this happen? I know we've talked a little bit about that, but is there a lot of hoops you've had to jump through? And
it's been a long process. Yeah, it's love, like she was saying, which really struck me, which completely, the whole interview is completely different of how I thought it was going to be. And that's how love is. It takes you by surprise. Mm-hmm. Love will break your heart. Love will make you want to die. And then love will bring you back to life, and you will never even imagine that you could feel that you actually went to Mars and lived to talk about it.
That's right. The ups and downs. And I bet you've brought some people together. You have some great stories about love connections. Kristina, tell us one of your favorite stories of connecting a couple.
Okay, so that's an easy one, because that's Peter and Yvette searching for their marriage pictures. So Peter and Yvette, so people who believe in love really are guaranteed to find love. So when Peter came, I mean, I'm an active person. I move around. I had several different entities, and every single one he came to, and he joined, and he gave it his all. And when I met Yvette, she was so shy. She called and hung up the phone And back in those days, they had the, what was it, star 69, or you could call the person back.
Yep.
And so I called back and I said, I know you called. I know you're interested. Don't be shy. Just give it a chance. And so her thing was she wanted to meet a man who just wanted to get to know her, to love her, to want what everybody wants, not just sex right away and the whole thing.
Mhm.
And so he said he wanted to meet his partner in crime, and that he really, they both wanted it so bad. I never thought the two of them were going to get together. They met at Dining Encounters, which was sort of like the table for six back in the day. And so when they got together and they started courting, she called me and said, I just don't understand it. He's not making a move on me at all. And so then, of course, it's almost like I'm the Jewish meddling mother, right? Because I call up, well, Peter, what's going on? And he said, I love her. I just want to give it time because I want this to work. So I'm not rushing into anything. So the woman who came to me so shy and apprehensive and not wanting to, get into this sort of Tinder situation was like, when is this going to happen? It's been over a year. And so they got married. I went to their wedding. It was beautiful. It was at Chaminade in Santa Cruz.
Matchmaker.
And those matchmaking days were the best days of my life because I have so many stories to share, so there is a lot to come, because I don't know if I need to get a disclaimer and all this, but all the pictures and all the love stories and all the happiness, and it's definitely time for that. It's long overdue.
Love it. I love and love hearing those stories, and you can tell in her voice and her demeanor that she really loves bringing people together and being around that. It's so inspiring. So yes, absolutely. The world needs more of that. I think dating's become even harder with this kind of divisive world we live in, right? We've got the politics, the COVID, everything. People are just so divided. So I think anything that we can put forth to bring love together in a beautiful environment such as Love Ridge Resort. And I know we're going to have you back on the show to kind of film the finished product and be able to see more about love games and everything you have planned. And I certainly want to come out and take a visit there myself.
Kristina, when's the target time frame for when you want to have this Love Bar up and running out there at that site you're at now?
Okay, so that's the question. All right, so Love Bar, where is that first location going to be? If I had my choice, I want to be in Palo Alto. Some people say San Francisco. So I'm actually working with the team because we need funding. Love Bar is a big deal. Just Love Games itself, it's specialized technology. It's just a grand vision. And so when COVID hit, even though I received approval, like Love Bar is a go, but COVID hit. So there was no go at that point. So I came up here, and so now it's like, okay, I'll work on phase 2. You're supposed to do phase 1 and then phase 2, but phase 2 came before phase 1. So people, we will be ready to receive guests here in June.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so we're going to have you on hopefully for one of our June, July shows, just to have it for the kickoff. I mean, we let the cat out of the bag early with this show, right? So we might as well be there for the kickoff, right?
Going to be popular. I can feel it.
Well, Kristina, thanks so much for coming on the show tonight. We really appreciate it. And I know Ava, I can speak for Ava to say that we're really digging your concept. So thanks.
Digging your vibe all around.
It's really an honor to have shared it with you guys today. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy Valentine's.
I love it.
What a wonderful personality, wonderful spirit she has. Geralyn too. So bubbly.
Yeah.
And we have some amazing guests, and I know Brian will be back on someday.
Yeah, we'll get him back for sure. We have amazing guests, but we also have amazing friends of the show, liaisons.
Yes.
And
Yes, we do.
We, of course, love our main man, Rich, right? He's been on the show so many times. He's provided content for our show. And
Richard Miller.
Yes, Mr. Richard Miller. He is hysterical to me. Anytime I get something from him and want to weave it into the show, we are so gracious to do so, because a lot of the stuff that he produces and does ahead of time is so funny and hilarious. And I think you'll see from this next short clip of Mr. Rich, or I should say Cupid Rich, he'll be facilitating a very famous connection.
Love, exciting and new.
Hi, I'm Rick, and I promise I won't sing anymore. I'm here today to give you some hints about Valentine's Day, maybe some helpful things that'll make your Valentine's Day work out a lot better than it may have ever in the past. My first suggestion to you is rather than giving some crazy, big, grand gesture kind of a gift, do something more personal. Make a painting, do a picture, something that'll connect you and your honey. Now, a lot of people, when they're doing pictures and paintings, they go for oils, they go for charcoal. Me, I like to work in Crayola. I'm just about done with this. And anything that I'm doing isn't anything special or amazing. It's actually a caricature. And this, the one thing you remember about caricatures, it has to have some kind of action, something the person likes to do, whether it's climbing mountains or racing cars. Right here is mine. And what are they doing here? That's right. Number one, I got the blue eyes, the red hair. This is beautiful. And I have them waving because they like to wave a lot of times. And I tied it all in with a clock up here because a lot of times they're waving when the clock strikes a certain hour. See, you mix it all together, you put a little thought into it, it comes out to be great like this. Hey, there's a buddy of mine, trust me, this guy knows art. So tell me, what do you think of my picture? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he likes this. So great. Hey, told you, this is the way to go. So, okay, let's move on to the next thing. Okay, so maybe being an artist, doing a painting, maybe that's not your thing, but maybe you're more of a performance artist. So my suggestion, do some interpretive dance, all personal and special just for your loved one. Way to do this, first, find some romantic music. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Then just go with the music. Okay, two things about interpretive dance. Number one, make sure you're coordinated. And number two, make sure you have your medical professional's phone number handy. Okay, we'll move on to the next bit. I'm just going to lay here for a little bit. So you still want to make your Valentine's Day special, but maybe you're not a good artist. Maybe you're not a great dancer. Here's something you can do. You can make no-bake cheesecakes. That's right. No oven, no microwave, no frying pan, nothing. Let me show you how to do it. It's nice and easy. Just a bunch of ingredients, and then you mix them up. First, take one good block of cream cheese. Yes, the whole thing right in. Next, half a cup of vanilla-flavored yogurt. Pour that right in, too. Next, 1 teaspoon of freshly squeezed orange juice. I like to, or lemon juice. I like to keep all my freshly squeezed lemon juice in this bottle I buy from the store. Next, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Dump it right in. In a time-honored tradition of measurements, a pinch of kosher salt. And your last ingredient, and yes, we know what's coming, it's honey. And everybody knows real honey comes from a bear. This, you want to put in 2 tablespoons of honey. But you know what? You can never go wrong. If you put more in, that's great too. Now you got it all in the bowl. Now you want to mush it up and you want to mix it and you want to stir and you want to get this so it's nice and smooth. So you stir and you mix and you stir and you stir and you stir. All right, so we've stirred that until it's nice and smooth. It's great. Next thing you need, a couple of graham crackers. Best way to deal with this is to remember all your bad Valentine's Day dates, because this is a great way to work out frustration. What you want is crushed graham crackers. Oh, look, that worked just perfect.
Crushed graham crackers, put them into a couple of dishes. Doesn't matter how big the dishes are. Look at, isn't this a cute little dish? After you put all that in there, that's when you put this nice, smooth, well-stirred mixture on top of it. This is what's giving you your instant cheesecake with a great crust. Aren't they beautiful? Now you take these, you put them into the refrigerator for about 3 hours. And look, 3 hours later, yeah, this is the magic of television, you have nice, solid cheesecakes. What do you do with that? You take some of your pink Cool Whip. If you can't buy pink Cool Whip in the store, you just get regular Cool Whip and put a couple of drops of red dye in there. Put that right on top. Oh, look at that. Is that Valentine's Day pretty or what? That's too much work for you? Strawberry syrup, because that's nice and pink too. Dribble it all over. Look at that. 2 beautiful Valentine's Day desserts. Enjoy. So I've given you 3 great suggestions for Valentine's Day, but maybe still that's not just quite right for what you're going for, and you still have to show your crush just what you feel for them. Well, the best way there, you're going to have to spend a couple of bucks, head to your local tattoo parlor, and show your crush just what you're thinking. Now, if you have a couple of bucks, that's good for a couple of bucks, but maybe your crush is a lot bigger. Well, don't forget, you got a whole body, and you can just use as much of that body to show your crushes what you really want. Anyway, no matter what you end up doing, have a great Valentine's Day. See ya.
Rich is always good for a laugh. A trifecta. We learned how to dance. We learned how to make no-bake cheesecake.
I don't know how I feel about being tattooed on Rich's leg, but it's all good. I mean, to be loved like that it's a great thing.
A little something for everyone. Yes. Love is in the air for us. And he's the best. Thank you, Rich.
Always thank you to Rich. He's a funny guy. And another funny guy, we're going to bring him from behind the scenes. Mr. Dan Leach, he's our...
Good day.
We got breaking news on this show.
I wasn't supposed to be part of this show. What the heck's going on here?
Well, you're always part of it.
I know. I am the show. I just let you guys do
it. You are the show. And the reason we wanted to bring you on is because we did the same thing last year. Dan will not be, he'll be somewhere kind of special, Las Vegas this weekend. Before Valentine's Day, there is a pretty large sporting event happening. And Dan has been spending some time out there working for the Vegas Stats and Information Network, also known as VEASAN. And so we got your Super Bowl picks last year. Got to get them this year. Let's talk about the game for a little bit to wrap up the show.
Well, hopefully you've been following all my picks because I do a show called the Detroit City Cast, and I'm 11-2 against the spread. If people don't know what that means I've picked 11 of 13 games with the spread involved, and you'd be up a lot. Listen, we talked about relationships on this show, and different things. You'd be able to buy a couple Love hotels or Love Rescue Me franchises. So listen, I have had a pretty good record in the last, let's say, go back 15 years. I think I've only lost 4 Super Bowls, and this is a weird one for me because Matt Stafford, who's the longtime starting quarterback, the franchise quarterback for the team that I love the most, the Lions, is on a new team for the first time ever, had never won a playoff game, and now he's won 3 in one season, and he's playing in a Super Bowl in his home stadium. So the point spread is Rams -4, 4.5 in some places against the Bengals. I love Joe Burrow a lot, and you know this. Joe Burrow's a heartthrob. I know Ava's engaged now, but he's her heartthrob dreamer. And the Bengals deserve to be there. They're there for a reason. They didn't get there by luck. But this is 2 4 seeds. It's a quarterback at Stafford that has been in the league for 13 plus years. This is Burrow's second year. I know Burrow is looking to become the first guy to win a high school championship, the Heisman, and a national championship in college, as well as the Super Bowl. It will happen, just not this year. And I just think in the end, the Rams defense will be too much with Aaron Donald and Ramsey. I think Stafford will be too much on the offensive side with Cooper Kupp and Van Jefferson and Cam Akers and Sean McVay being the genius offensively. And I think that Bengals offensive line is going to be a big problem to protect Burrow and go against that front seven from the Rams. So I like the Rams to win this game. I don't want to say comfortably because Super Bowls have been a lot closer. In recent years, as you know, when we were kids. You and I were on the same age. There used to be a lot of blowouts. I think the Rams win by 7 to 10, if not more. I think Burrow has some trouble throughout the game. I'll give you. I have a score prediction, of course. I think the Rams are going to win this game 34 to 20. I think it's going to go over the total of 48.5. I think the Rams are going to cover, and I think that you're going to see an offensive explosion from Stafford and that Rams offense. And Burrow and the Bengals will show that they deserve to be there, but they're just not ready to be winners of a Super Bowl championship.
Someone who lived in Metro Detroit for 20 years, you want to root for Stafford. But it is a little bittersweet as a Lions guy, right?
Yeah, I think it's so weird, too, because
it is weird.
You know this because you lived here for a long time. And obviously, I've born and raised here, but I've lived in so many different places, but I've always had allegiance to the Lions and the Wolverines and the teams here in Detroit. There are a lot of – I don't want to say the majority. It's not even close to the majority, but there's a lot of Lions fans that are being total haters right now. There's always the whole stat Padford crowd. If people don't know what that means, people thought that Matt Stafford wasn't a good quarterback. He would just pad his stats late in games, and the Lions were losing by a lot. He had a lot of fourth quarter comebacks. He has the most fourth quarter comebacks actively in the NFL right now, and they would say that it was Stafford's fault. He was the least of the Lions' problems. What this shows you, me being a long-suffering Lions fan, is that not only was Stafford good enough to get to and I think win a Super Bowl, which I've always said, but the Lions were unable, and I don't want to say unwilling, they were unable to build the right team around him. Now, the good news is the Lions have a brand new GM in Brad Sherlock Holmes. They've got a coach that could end up being good with Dan Campbell. I don't know, but we know that I think the GM is going to be good, and things could get a lot better if the Lions find their Joe Burrow or their next Matthew Stafford. But it's crazy to think that he was here for all those years, went to the playoffs 3 times, never won a playoff game. Lions haven't won one since 91. I was there against the Cowboys in January 92. And then this year he's 1 win away from a Super Bowl in his home stadium. It's mind-boggling. Yes, I said
cool. Kind of cool. It's a Super Bowl that for me, I'm going to enjoy watching it, and whoever wins. I don't really have a huge rooting interest, although I would win some money if the Bengals win. But
you told me you put $10K on the Bengals. You definitely have
It's going to be a good game.
Ava, I got to meet Ava's special someone. We got to hang out in Philly last time I was there, and she was gracious. She watched the Green Bay San Francisco game all the way.
All right, I need to ask Ava this. This is the most important question.
Yeah,
this is the most important question that we asked on this show, maybe ever. Ava, who wins the Super Bowl? And I want to score. Do you know who's playing?
Cincinnati Bengals versus the Rams.
Yes.
Very good.
Right, she knows who's playing, so that's
it was a very close game they played. It was very close. I'm rooting for the Rams. I feel like they're kind of the underdog a little bit.
They're not.
Well, for some reason, I feel like they need my support. So
okay.
I just feel like, it's been a tough year for Louisiana.
Okay, that makes little to no sense. Give me
it's the Joe Burrow connection. Is that what she's doing?
Well, there
were to help you out, Ava.
So many disasters at that stage.
All right, I guess I never should have asked this question. She likes the Rams. All right, we're going with the Rams. Rams 34-20. But yes, I will be. I've been lucky enough to cover many Super Bowls in my career, and I hope to cover more in the future. Hopefully, go to the Lions for a Super Bowl ever before I'm like 100. But the best place to be is the Super Bowl city. But if you can't be there, I think Vegas is number 2, and that's where I'll be starting tomorrow morning. I have a huge blowout trip. A group of guys that I work with won this thing called the Westgate Handicapping Contest, almost $400,000 by picking 5 NFL games a week. So we're going to celebrate that. We're getting one of those big checks that you take a picture with. So that'll be a lot of fun. Seeing Marshmallow, going to different clubs and restaurants, and not sleeping much and having lots of Red Bulls. And I actually just got over terrible. Lawton knows this. I don't know if Ava does.
Yeah.
Actually, no, you do too. Terrible food poisoning or some kind of stomach issue that was tremendously the most pain I had been in since I got sober 11 plus years ago. And luckily, I'm feeling much better. I'm almost 100%. But it was pretty dicey from Monday to Tuesday. I slept a lot, that's for sure.
Are you sure you don't have the COVID? I hear it comes in all different
No,
forms,
I do not have COVID. I've been tested for that, and the symptoms I had nothing to do with anything that has to do with COVID. But I think we're all going to eventually get COVID, I would guess. But no, I'm good with that. I've been tested for that, and I'm out to much more. Right now in Detroit, there are, I think, about an inch plus of snow on the ground, and it's about 20 degrees. I'm about to get to 70-degree weather. I'm going to be swimming out there. walking the strip, doing crazy things, but within legal reason. And it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it'll be a blast, man. And I get
I'm
to
so
come
glad
back
you're
to
feeling better.
I get to come back to Detroit. I'll be back tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, Lawton did while I'm gone.
Revenge of
Lawton is my
Steve.
longtime play-by-play cohort. I call the games with Lawton, football and basketball games, and our good friend Ryan Woolley as well. And Lawton and Ryan get to, for one night only, call a game themselves. So people got to tune in, WHMI.com, anywhere in the world tomorrow, 7 o'clock, actually 6:40 Eastern for the pregame with Ryan Woolley. And I know Lawton's helped out with that as well. And then 7 o'clock, what is it, Heartland and Brighton, right?
Heartland and Brighton, the high school basketball in Metro Detroit. Two really good teams. So I'm excited. I'm excited to come back and for a couple nights and hang out in that 20-degree weather.
This is like when the parents are away on vacation.
Right.
The kid's going to cause any problem. Now, you guys are total pros. You're going to do a great job, and I'm very excited to see how it works out for you guys tomorrow.
Well, of course, when I'm gone, back home in Virginia, it'll be mid-60s. It's been like that for the past 4 days. So
warming up on the East Coast.
I guess, by the way, Eric Fry says Bengals by a field goal. So he's going against me. It's not smart. I've only lost 2 games in the playoffs. The stupid Cowboys and the Packers. Those are the only games I've lost.
Yeah, actually, that game I think we watched together, Ava, at Philly Live Casino. That was a good time.
That was awesome. Yeah,
really great place.
That was a good game.
You got to check it out for sure.
They were neck and neck. Yeah, it was pretty exciting.
Well, another great show, you guys. I appreciate
great job, guys.
All the help. Great guests tonight. For all of our viewers, we thank you so much for tuning in each and every episode. We appreciate your support. A lot of great things to come in 2022 for Ava and myself. For Danny, Ava, myself, Lawton Luntz, thanks so much for watching. Hey, that's easy. We'll see you next time.